Alexander Harrington had everything, billions in the bank, a big mansion, and a name that opened every door. One drunken night, he woke up next to his black maid, Lila, with no memory of what happened. Months later, she stood in his office, hand on her growing belly, and said 3 words that destroyed his world forever. "It's your baby." He laughed, called her a liar, and demanded a DNA test to prove she was after his money. The results came back. 99.9% match. The child was his. But that was only the beginning. Because when the truth hit his strict old father, the entire inheritance, every dollar, every company, every piece of the family empire, vanished from Alexander's hands in one cruel stroke. All because of one mistake he couldn't even remember. And the maid? She wasn't going anywhere. Before we dive deep into this wild billionaire drama full of secrets, betrayals, and shocking twists. If you're already hooked by that powerful opening, do me a solid real quick. Smash that like button if you love messy rich people stories that feel way too real. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next juicy chapter. Drop a comment right now and tell us, where are you watching from? So we know who's riding with this drama. In the big city of New York, there lived a rich man named Alexander Harrington. He was a billionaire. His family owned many companies. They had money from oil, real estate, and tech. Alexander was 35 years old. He was tall, handsome, with blue eyes and blonde hair. But he was not happy. His father, old Mr. Harrington, was strict. He controlled everything. Alexander liked parties and drinking too much. One rainy night, Alexander came home drunk. It was his birthday party. He had too much whiskey. His big mansion was empty. His wife, Victoria, was away on a trip. She was always traveling for her fashion business. Alexander stumbled into the kitchen. There, cleaning late, was his maid, Lila Johnson. Lila was a black woman, 28 years old. She had dark skin, curly hair, and kind brown eyes. She came from a poor family in the South. She worked hard to send money home to her sick mother. Alexander looked at Lila. In his drunk mind, he saw her as beautiful. He forgot she was his maid. He forgot everything. "Lila," he slurred, "you look nice tonight." Lila was surprised. She tried to leave, but Alexander pulled her close. He kissed her. Lila pushed him away at first, but he was strong. She was scared. She needed her job. That night, something happened. An affair by mistake. Alexander passed out after. Lila cried and left quietly. The next morning, Alexander woke up with a headache. He did not remember much. Lila acted normal. She cleaned and said nothing. But deep inside, both knew something wrong had happened. Weeks passed. Alexander went back to his busy life. Meetings, deals, and more parties. Victoria came home. She was cold and distant. Their marriage was not good. It was arranged by their families for money. Victoria had her own secrets. She spent time with a young artist named Marco. Lila felt sick every morning. She bought a pregnancy test. It was positive. Her heart raced. "What do I do?" she thought. She had no husband. Her family would be ashamed. But the baby was from Alexander. She decided to tell him. One evening, Lila knocked on Alexander's office door. "Sir, I need to talk," she said softly. Alexander looked up from his papers. "What is it, Lila?" he asked. Lila took a deep breath. "I'm pregnant." "It's from that night." Alexander's face turned white. "What night?" he yelled. Then he remembered bits. The rain, the kitchen, the kiss. "No, it can't be," he said. "You must be lying." Lila cried. "I'm not lying, sir. I swear." Alexander stood up. "This is a trick. You want money." He paced the room. His mind spun. If his father knew, it would be bad. Old Mr. Harrington hated scandals. He had a weak heart. Alexander thought of his inheritance. Billions of dollars. He was the only son. We need a DNA test, he said finally. To prove if it's mine. Lila nodded. She had nothing to hide. But she felt hurt. Like she was dirt. Alexander arranged the DNA test secretly. He paid a private doctor. Lila went to the clinic. They took samples. Alexander's from his cheek, Lila's from hers, and the baby's from her blood. This will end it, Alexander thought. If it's not mine, I'll fire her. Days felt like years. Alexander avoided Lila. He drank more. Victoria noticed he was tense. What's wrong, Alex? She asked one night. He lied. Business stress. But Victoria suspected something. She hired a private investigator. She wanted dirt on Alexander for a divorce. She dreamed of taking half his money. Lila stayed in her small room in the mansion. She touched her belly. Little one, I'll protect you, she whispered. She remembered her hard life. Her father left when she was young. Her mother worked 2 jobs. Lila came to New York for a better life. Now this. The results came in a sealed envelope. Alexander opened it alone. His hands shook. The paper said, 99.9% match. The baby was his. Alexander dropped the paper. No, he gasped. Shock hit him like a truck. He had a child with the maid. A black maid. His family was old money, white, proud. What would they say? He called Lila to his office. It's mine, he said coldly. What do you want? Money? I'll pay for an abortion. Lila's eyes widened. No. I want to keep my baby. Alexander laughed bitterly. You think you can raise my child? You're nothing. Lila stood tall. I'm the mother. You can't take that. Anger boiled in Alexander. He decided to fight. He would deny it publicly. But first, he told his lawyer. Old Mr. Harrington, 75 years old, sat in his grand study. He had white hair and sharp eyes. He built the empire from nothing. His wife died young. Alexander was his only child. Or so everyone thought. Alexander went to see his father. Dad, I have a problem, he said. He talked about Lila and the baby. But he lied a bit. She tricked me. I was drunk. Mr. Harrington frowned. Stupid boy. This could ruin us. He thought for a moment. We'll handle it. Pay her off. Make her sign papers to give up the child. But Lila refused money. I don't want your pity, she said. I want respect for my child. Alexander got mad. He fired her. Get out, he shouted. Lila packed her bags and left. She went to a small apartment in the city. She found a job at a diner. Victoria found out from her investigator. She smiled. Perfect, she thought. Divorce would be easy now. She confronted Alexander. I know about the maid, she said. I want half of everything. Alexander begged. Please, don't tell Dad. But Victoria laughed. Too late. I already did.
Mr. Harrington called a family meeting. Alexander, Victoria, and his sister Elena were there. Elena was 32, married to a banker. She hated Alexander. She wanted the inheritance for her kids. Dad, it's a mistake, Alexander pleaded. Mr. Harrington looked sad. You've shamed us. But we'll fix it. He hired lawyers to sue Lila for custody. The child is Harrington. It belongs to us. Lila got scared. She had no money for a lawyer. But a kind customer at the diner helped. He was a civil rights lawyer named Mr. Davis. I'll take your case for free, he said. This is wrong. The courtroom was full. Reporters waited outside. The story leaked to the news. Billionaire's secret baby with Maid. Headlines screamed. Alexander's face was everywhere. In court, Alexander's lawyers said Lila was a gold digger. She seduced him, they claimed. Lila's lawyer showed the DNA test. It's his child. He must support it. Alexander testified. I was drunk. I don't remember. Lila cried on the stand. He forced me. But I love my baby. The judge listened. We need more proof, he said. The case dragged on. Suspense built. Would Alexander win? Victoria filed for divorce. She demanded billions. Alexander fought back. She cheated too, he said. Proof came out. Photos of Victoria with Marco. Elena watched happily. Brother is falling, she thought. She visited Mr. Harrington. Dad, Alexander is weak. Make me the heir. Mr. Harrington shook his head. He's my son. But was he? Elena had a secret. Years ago she found old letters. Their mother had an affair. Alexander might not be Mr. Harrington's real son. Lila gave birth during the trial. A baby boy. She named him Jamal. He had Alexander's blue eyes but Lila's dark skin. My little miracle, Lila said. Alexander saw photos in court. His heart softened for a second. But then anger returned. That child will ruin my life. One night, Elena sneaked into her father's safe. She took the old letters. She hired a detective to find more. The detective discovered shocking news. Mr. Harrington's wife had an affair with a business partner. A DNA test from years ago showed Alexander was not his biological son. Mr. Harrington knew but kept it secret. He loved Alexander anyway. Elena smiled. Now I have power. She planned to reveal it. In court, Lila's lawyer found witnesses. Other maids said Alexander drank a lot and flirted with staff. One said he tried with her too. Alexander's image cracked. Victoria testified against Alexander. He's a drunk and a cheat, she said. Alexander lost his temper. You're the cheat. The judge warned him. Mr. Harrington had a heart attack from stress. In the hospital he called Alexander. Son, fight for the family name. Alexander promised. But inside he doubted. Elena visited the hospital. Dad, I have something to tell you. She showed the letters. Mr. Harrington's eyes filled with tears. How did you know? Elena said, it doesn't matter. Alexander isn't blood. Give the inheritance to me. Mr. Harrington thought. He loved Alexander like a son. But blood mattered to him now. He changed his will secretly. Everything to Elena and her children. Alexander out. Alexander didn't know. He focused on the custody battle. He offered Lila money again. Take 10 million. Give me the child. Lila refused. Jamal needs his mother. The detective Elena hired found more. Lila had a secret too. She was not just a maid. Her father was a rich man who left her mother. He was Mr. Harrington's old rival. Lila came to work for Alexander to spy. But she fell in love with the job and forgot revenge. The affair was real, but her background was hidden. Alexander's lawyers found this. She's a spy, they shouted in court. Lila admitted. Yes, my father hated your family. But I didn't plan the pregnancy. The court gasped. Suspense peaked. Was it all a trap? Mr. Harrington died in the hospital. The family gathered for the reading of the will. Alexander sat confident. It's all mine, he thought. The lawyer read, to my daughter Elena, I leave the entire estate. Alexander, you get nothing. You are not my biological son. Alexander stood up. What? Lies. But proof was there. DNA from the past. Alexander collapsed. Betrayed by his father. Elena smiled. Brother, you lost everything. Victoria laughed. She got her divorce settlement from Elena's share. In court the judge ruled. Custody to Lila. Alexander to pay child support. But Alexander had no money now. He was broke. Lila felt sorry. I didn't want this, she said. But Jamal was safe. Jamal's DNA was retested. Wait, it wasn't Alexander's? No. A lab error? No. Wait deeper. Victoria had tampered. She paid the doctor to fake the first test. What? To destroy Alexander for her divorce. But wait more. The real father was Marco, Victoria's lover. No. Marco was Alexander's half-brother from the mother's affair. Confusing. The DNA showed Jamal was Mr. Harrington's grandson. But how? Alexander was not biological, but wait. The mother's affair was with Mr. Harrington's brother. So Alexander was still family nephew. But the will stood. Alexander lost. He ended up poor, living in a small apartment. Lila raised Jamal well. She used child support wisely. Years later, Jamal became successful. Elena mismanaged the empire. It fell. Karma. Alexander reflected. One drunk night cost me all. Alexander tried to rebuild. He got a job as a salesman. Humble. He visited Jamal sometimes. The boy looked like him. Dad, Jamal called him one day. Alexander cried. Lila found old documents. Her father left her money. She was rich now. She helped Alexander a bit. For Jamal, she said. Victoria ran away with Marco. But Marco stole her money. Betrayed. Elena lost the company. Bankrupt. She begged Alexander for help. He said no. In the end, Alexander found peace. He married a simple woman. Had more kids. Lila stayed single, strong. Mr. Harrington faked his death. He watched from afar. He changed the will to teach Alexander a lesson. But he died for real later. No, he came back. Son, it was a test. But it was too late. Alexander refused the money. I learned without it. No, that was a dream. Reality, all lost. Alexander looks at the stars. Life is full of twists. And just like that, the Harrington empire crumbled, one drunken mistake at a time. Alexander lost the billions, the mansion, the name, the power, everything he thought defined him. Lila raised Jamal with love, strength, and the quiet victory of a woman who refused to be broken. Elena's greed swallowed the fortune she fought so hard to steal. Victoria ran off with nothing but regrets. And in the end, the only thing that truly lasted was the little boy with blue eyes and dark skin, growing up far away from the drama that almost destroyed his parents before he was even born. Life has a funny way of flipping the script when you least expect it. Take away and tell me, who do you feel sorry for the most? Alexander? Lila? Or nobody at all? Share your thoughts. Thanks for watching this crazy ride all the way to the end. Subscribe if you want more real, raw, twist-filled stories like this one. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next one.